Hello, all of you. I am Professor K. Raghavendra Rao. Today, I am going to discuss with you the measurement of temperature, barometric pressure, and altitude using BMP-280 interfaced with the Node MCU ESP8266. The project actually deals with the measurement of temperature, barometric pressure, and altitude using a sensor which is called BMP-280, which is interfaced with Node MCU ESP8266 module. The main components of this particular project includes BMP-280 sensor from Bosch SensorTech, a 0.96-inch 128 by 64 OLED module, then a Node MCU module. Of course, we try to use also a breadboard and some of the jumper wires for connecting the sensor with Node MCU. The Bosch sensor is a tiny board which comes up with the unsoldered 6-hole module. Effective use of this particular module can be accomplished by soldering a burr connector for this 6-pin hole that we have got for the module. The purple color board has marking on it, which is BME/P. If it is BME-280, then there will be a tick mark or a black spot on BME on E. And if it is BMP-280, there will be a tick mark or a black mark on P, so that we can try to distinguish whether the board is BME-280 or BMP-280. The difference between BMP-280 and BME-280 is that the latter will try to measure humidity in addition to temperature and pressure. Out of the 6 pins, 2 pins, namely VCC and ground, are for biasing the sensor, and the rest of the pins, that are 4 pins that we have got, can be connected to either SPI or I2C interface. We can choose one among the SPI or I2C pins using, there is what is called CSB bit that you have got. If this particular bit CSB is equal to 0, then we try to have SPI protocol. In case if CSB is equal to 1, then it will try to assume what is called I2C protocol. The working voltage corresponding to this particular sensor is between 1.8 to 3.6. So I am using what is called Node MCU, which works at 3.3 volts, which is very ideal for this particular Bosch sensor. Well, the salient features of this BMP-280 is that it will try to measure the temperature to an accuracy of plus or minus 1 degree centigrade. The pressure accuracy is plus or minus 1 hectopascal or hectopascal that we have. And then the altitude, it will try to measure plus or minus 1 meter. Well, coming to the organic light emitting diode, which is being used in this particular project, is that the OLED displays are widely used in different electronic gadgets with a special reference to Internet of Things applications. Obvious reasons are low power consumption, tiny size, wide view angle, and very high flexibility as compared to LCD or 7-segment displays. Nevertheless, these OLED displays have to be handled very carefully. Every OLED display module comes with a driver IC in its backplane, which can't be seen because it is being encapsulated inside. You can't see what is the driver IC and what is the driver IC number. Normally, the vendor, when you try to purchase that particular OLED, he will try to provide a data sheet wherein he will try to mention about which type of what is called the driver he has actually used for that OLED. The driver IC handles the pixels of the module. That is, by programming the driver, individual pixels can be switched on or off. Well, there are different types of OLEDs. Broadly speaking, the OLEDs can be classified or categorized as follows. passive matrix OLED, which we try to call it as PM OLED, active matrix OLED, AM OLED, then transparent OLED, top emitting OLED, foldable OLED, and white OLED. Among these, what is called 6 types that we have got, the PM OLED is very, very popular. Of course, the AM OLED are being also used, but as compared to PM OLED, AM OLED is very, very costly. So the PM OLED is very cost effective, and hence it is being very widely used in different kinds of electronic applications. Well, the popular dimensions of this particular OLED are 0.66 inch, 0.91 inch, 0.96 inch, 1.3 inch, 1.54 inch, and so on and so forth. It comes with a pixel density of 128 cross 32, 128 cross 64, and 128 cross 128, and so on. The OLED modules support SPI and I2C protocols. Certain modules support both protocols with a little modification of components at its back plane. Of course, you can see that in the next few slides that you have got, that the what is called SPI modules will have more pins as compared to that of I2C modules. One important point to note here is that they are different, or they try to use different drivers to work with. Popular drivers are the drivers that are being used in OLEDs are for 0.96 and 1.3 inch OLED modules, SSD1306 and SH1106 are being used respectively. As you can see in the diagram that you have got, this is a photograph corresponding to a 0.96 inch OLED, okay, with the I2C what is called interface. You can see the number of pins are very little. Of course, 1 and 2 are ground and VCC, and then third pin is nothing but serial clock, and fourth pin is nothing but serial data. Well, in certain modules, you can see that the VCC and ground, they would have been interchanged. Okay, so different vendors will try to supply different types of OLEDs with the 0.96 inch with the VCC and ground changed. Of course, for I2C, one of the important things is that you should actually select what is known as the address. The address is selectable here. You can see in the diagram on the right side that you can either select 0x78 or 0x7A, depending on the jumper selection that you have got. In the figure that you are seeing now, you can see that there is a short bit in left-hand side, so which selects 0x78 as the I2C address. Well, here is another module that is being supplied by another vendor. You can see that it is also 0.96 128/64 OLED display, but it will try to provide you an opportunity either to use SPI interface or I2C interface. Okay, so the number of pins that you have got here is not 4, but you can try to see that it is 7 pins. So the number of pins that you try to have will try to increase. That is, now you have ground, VCC, D0, D1, then reset, that is RES, DC, and CS, that is called chip selection. So depending upon whether you want to use SPI module or I2C module or I2C interface, then you can try to make the connections as shown in the back end of your OLED display. You can see there that what are the pins that have to be connected to use I2C. If it is 4-pin SPI, what are the resistors that you have to use, and similarly 3-pin, and so on and so forth. Well, here is another photograph that shows 1.3 inch. See, in some of the applications wherein you have to display more data, and also the size of the pixel should be more or bigger, larger in size. In such a scenario, you try to use what is called 1.3 inch I2C OLED. So on the leftmost side, you can try to find that you have a 1.3 inch I2C OLED with 4 pins only. Okay, like VCC, ground, SCL, and SDA. On the right side, you try to find there is a module once again with what is called 4-pin, which is nothing but the back end of your 4-pin OLED, 1.3 inch. And then on the rightmost part, you can try to find that it is also a 1.3 inch OLED. On the back side of this particular OLED, you can try to see that there is a possibility for you to what is called select whether I2C or SPI. Okay, so you can see that there is a 4K7 resistor, that is 4.7 kilo ohms resistor. This resistor, if you are using what is called SPI, you have to solder at the bottom, and if you are using what is called I2C, you have to solder the particular thing on the top. And also there will be what is called R8 resistor. This R8 resistor has to be shorted, or the R8 path has to be shorted where it is marked as R8. Okay, so both these what is called modules, namely whether it is a 4-pin module or 7-pin module, they try to use a driver IC which is nothing but SH1106. Well, now we will try to go to the actual microcontroller which I am trying to use to interface and to control and to measure and display what is called some of the parameters like pressure, temperature, and then altitude. So one of the important parameters. Well, you can see here the Node MCU ESP8266 module. This module will try to support both I2C as well as SPI. So you can see SCL and SDA corresponds to the I2C interfacing, and then you have HSL, SCLK, HMISO, HMOSI, and HCS. Those pins will try to support SPI module. Of course, you can also power up your OLED as well as the interface board, that is nothing but your sensor board, with the 3.3 volts that is being provided by the Node MCU itself. Okay, so you can see in the diagram that there are 3 pairs of 3.3 ground pins that you have got. So perhaps you can try to use a couple of pairs of pins, one to power your OLED, another to power your sensor BMP280. Well, this is actually the interfacing diagram. As I have mentioned earlier, you can try to find that there is a 0.96 OLED, and then on the rightmost side, you have got BMP280 sensor. So that is being powered by the 3.3 volts from the Node MCU, and also the OLED is being powered by what is called the 3.3 volts from ESP8266. Of course, the SCL and SDA pins, which are coming from the ESP8266, is common to both the sensor as well as your OLED. You may be wondering, how is it possible that we can try to connect SCL and DA, same pins, to both the sensor as well as your 0.96 OLED? They try to differ because the microcontroller will be in a position to understand the addresses. The address, what is called, you have to select what is called the address for OLED is separate and the address for BMP280 is separate. So basing on the address that you have got, that is I2C address, it will try to select either OLED or your BMP280. Well, on the other hand, this is what is called my connections that I have actually made with reference to what is known as the interfacing that I have actually done. So you can find that there is what is known as the Node MCU available here, and my sensor is here, and I am using a breadboard and some of the jumpers. And the OLED is going to display what is called the temperature, pressure, and altitude here. I will try to show you in the next slide the exact temperature, pressure, and altitude that is being actually displayed. So here is the display of temperature, pressure, and altitude on the 0.96 OLED. So you can find that the temperature is 25.36 degrees Celsius, 36 degrees Celsius, and the weather report has actually shown 24.5 degrees Celsius. So you can try to see more or less 1 degree, within 1 degree range, it is actually measuring the temperature accurately. And then as far as the altitude, I'm actually performing this particular experiment in Anantapur, which is in Andhra Pradesh in India. And its mean sea level is 335 meters from the Googling that I have actually done. And then the measured what is called altitude is 344.84 meters. Okay, this is how you can try to measure temperature, pressure, and altitude of your place by just interfacing the Node MCU with a very cheap and low-cost sensor, which is nothing but BMP 280. So if you use BME 280, then perhaps you can also measure what is called the humidity in addition to these parameters. Thank you for watching.